Hello everyone and welcome to a very special edition of Let's Take a Stab at It. I'm your host John Hoyer and with me is
Jason Barch. Happy Halloween, John.
Happy Halloween, Jason. Yes, we are having a Halloween special, you know, because we're now important enough, like the Peanuts cartoons, you know, that we have our own
that
special.
We have specials. Either we're important enough or we're out of ideas.
Yeah. We're just so delusional. So delusional. All right. So for this episode, we got a couple things going on. First, we got some awards to hand out. You know, our first ever Stabby Awards.
Stabby Awards, Cults Edition.
Yes. Who will win the Golden Stabbies? All right. Then we're going to talk about some Halloween traditions, favorite Halloween movies, etc., candy, you know, whatever. And then we're going to have a little bit of a competition at the end.
We're going to end it with a fun little game.
Yes.
Fun little game.
That I will dominate at.
All right. We'll see.
Guaranteed.
Time will tell.
All right. But before we start, as this is kind of the end of our Cults miniseries and we're going to be going on a little bit of a hiatus soon, we thought it would be good to, you know, start off by thanking a few people that really helped to make the podcast what it is.
Absolutely.
So first, number one, I think we gotta thank Jason's wife, Sadie, who has done a lot to support the show, and she did the artwork, and it's amazing.
Yeah, my lovely wife, Sadie, contributed her artwork to the logo for the show, and we're both pretty excited about it.
She made us both look very, very sweet and scared. Very, very good combination, I think.
Which is exactly how we feel doing the podcast, I think. So she really captured it.
So she's amazing. She's like hyped us up on her Instagram, and you know, she's a wonderful artist. So of course we had to at first mention her because she's a great person.
She's also a tattoo artist. If any of our listeners out there are interested, Sadie Barch Tattoos on Instagram, check her out.
Hell yeah. A couple other people we got here. We got my sister Lauren, who has listened to literally every edit of every episode and given me notes on it, things like that. Mm-hmm. She's an English teacher and way smarter than me.
She's been very helpful.
And we got to thank my friend, our friend Trevor. You know, he's wonderful. He listens to every episode too and gives us some ideas. I also wanted to shout out a couple other people. We got Colby from the Gore Score podcast, who they shouted us out a few weeks ago, I think, on their podcast, and he is the only person who wrote a review on iTunes. So
nice. All good things.
I think it was 5 stars.
Oh, cool.
So, you know, awesome. Anyway, Gore Score podcast. This guy Colby, really good guy.
Thanks, Colby.
Yeah, I don't want anyone talking bad about Colby. Just saying. We also got Hannah, who is apparently she's the first person to like every post related to our podcast.
Oh, awesome!
I tried to send her a message and thank her, but she already said you're welcome before I even sent the message.
Thanks for the support, Hannah.
Yeah. Let's see who else we got. Some of my friends, Jake, Paul, Joey, Kyle, they had a lot of nice things to say. Of course, we got Liam, who is very helpful and was in on 2 of our episodes. Wonderful guy. Ashley, who shouted us out on Twitter. And also, I mean, she said my laugh was delightful. So, of course, I love that. Who wouldn't? When I have a goofy laugh and someone says it's delightful, that's fantastic.
You take that compliment 10 times out of 10.
It's not something I'm very self-conscious about at all. Also, a couple of podcasts that I would say are, you know, kind of inspirations for the show. Chapo Trap House, the Slash Filmcast, which I've listened to for, I don't know, since 2008 or something. They're a big inspiration. And another one, Blank Check. All great podcasts. They're fantastic.
All right, so we got something special to do today. We're going to do our first ever Stabby Awards. And basically, we're going to go back through all of the cult films that we watched so far for the podcast and give out a few awards. So the first award we have is Best Cult Leader.
Oh, yeah.
So what are you thinking, John?
All right. So this is a tough one. It's tough, but also weirdly easy because this is a made up award show. So I can just choose one and I feel nothing. All right. But I got to go with Lord Summerisle in The Wicker Man.
Oh,
I mean, he's fun, flamboyant. And aside from the killing of people at the very end of the movie, seems like a fun time. I don't know. Like, that's my feeling.
I'm going to open up my envelope here. The award for Best Cult Leader, Lord Summerisle. I had him too.
Whoa! He swept. He swept the Stabbies.
He swept the Stabbies. A Stabby first.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Lord Summerisle, just so calm, cool, collected. There's never a doubt in his mind that he's going to achieve what he sets out to do. He achieves it. He burns poor Officer Sergeant Howie in The Wicker Man.
He dances a lot too.
Yeah, he dances a lot. It seems like everybody really likes him. There's a lot of, singing and dancing at the end. We don't know if they had good crops the next year. I assume so, but
I hope so. He
since we don't know, we gotta assume that he did. So well deserved, Lord Summerisle, if you're listening.
Yeah. Does Lord Summerisle, does he want to say a speech? Lord do you want to talk? No, he doesn't want to talk. All right. Just kidding, folks. He's Christopher Lee's dead.
Yep. May he rest in peace. Moving on. Our next category is coolest cult. Who do you got for this one, John?
You know what? I gotta say, I'm going with Wicker Man again.
Oh,
they have singing, dancing, a lot of drinking, good atmosphere. I'm going with those guys.
I like it. I went with Midsommar.
Ooh.
This one was I don't know. I wasn't as confident in this one as some of the other ones, but a lot had to do with the scenery. And, it seems like it would be nice to visit there, I guess.
It's the coolest one, yet you wouldn't join. Interesting.
Maybe that's why I struggle with this one, because I don't believe I joined any of them.
Good pivot.
So, I don't know. They have some cool architecture there. The dinners seem fun. The drinks with special properties. Maybe I'd give that a whirl. I'd have to make sure I'm around a lot of safe people for that. Yeah, I don't know. We'll give it to Midsommar. All right, so we're moving on to lamest cult.
Okay, so Jason, we didn't talk about this ahead of time, but I feel like we're probably going to be on the same page here.
Okay.
I went with the cult in The Seventh Victim.
Okay.
Because they're all a bunch of weenies.
They are weenies.
Maybe not the biggest weenies. But
time will tell.
They're weenies though. That they're not scary. The main plot of the movie of The Seventh Victim, for those that don't remember, is that they're trying to convince a woman who's suicidal to kill herself because that way they don't have to do it.
Yeah, they don't want to do it.
Yeah, very, very wimpy.
And they're very easily swayed by someone reciting the Lord's Prayer at the end. So yeah, they're huge pushovers.
I love in the episode you just go, yeah, we didn't think about that one.
So I had The Seventh Victim written down for a lot of the same reasons. And then I also kept coming back to The House of the Devil because they're just basically a family of screw-ups. Like they can't really execute their plan that well at the end. So that's pretty lame as well. But yeah, I'll give it to The Seventh Victim.
Okay. The next one is Biggest Weenie Award. Now, some of you with kindergarten level minds might think we're going one way with this. That's not true. That's not true. I'm wagging my finger right now. No. Biggest weenie as in they're lame.
A square.
Square.
L7 weenie. Yeah. If you're familiar with the podcast, you know that we do not throw out this term lightly. And I think we have dubbed a handful of weenies so far in the 8 films. This one was a little harder to narrow down than I had thought. I had a few.
Yeah.
So you got to help me out, John. The handsome fella, John Q. Everyman in The Seventh Victim that didn't really have a personality. What's his name?
You're talking about the husband, right?
Yeah.
His name's Ward.
Okay. All right. He's a weenie.
Yeah.
So much of a weenie.
Big weenie.
Didn't remember his name. Christian from Midsommar.
Yeah.
We went over that at length in the Midsommar episode.
Folks, if you thought we went over it too much in the release version, there's at least about 15 minutes I cut out. So
yeah, save that content for a Kickstarter someday or something. Yeah, he's a huge weenie. And then I ultimately had to give it to Guy Woodhouse, biggest weenie, which some might say is a bit of an upset, but I mean, he gave his wife away to be impregnated by Satan.
Oh yeah,
like
unforgivable,
big weenie.
Well, it's not just that, but it's also he's not like committedly evil. Oh, I don't know. Oh, this isn't good, but I wanted a better acting career.
And he like does it for fame. It's like
like, you're an actor who's getting roles already.
Yeah, he seems pretty successful. That's why they're moving into that nice place.
So I went with Guy Woodhouse as well. And
really?
Yeah.
Another sweep.
Oh,
we got a Stabby sweep.
This is going to be so broy. No, but yeah, no, I agree. Like he sucks. It's always more interesting to see someone who is evil, but they're committed to it. You know, he is like waffling a lot in the movie. He's a wimpy evil, you know. I find that to be way more, you know, offensive. So biggest weenie, Guy Woodhouse, fuck you.
Guy Woodhouse. Congratulations. All right. So our next category, it actually started as a slightly different category as best murder scene, but after some back and forth, we actually decided to change it to best death scene, because not all of the deaths that we've seen in these cult films have been murders. So what did you have there, John? I'm interested.
Okay, so I was debating a couple of them, but I ultimately went with the opening death scene in Suspiria, the original.
Okay, the falling through the glass, hanging. Yep.
It's so like operatic. There's tons of colors. It's a long sequence that really is just one of the best sequences in like any horror movie. So I love it. It's not just like a death scene where it's like, oh, someone gets stabbed and then that's it. It's like she gets like her throat cut, she's getting stabbed in the heart, there's a hanging, it's all happening to the same person. So it escalates, and there's another person that dies at the very end, you know, who's
there's like a bonus death at the end.
It's
a residual death from her falling through
so
window.
Very impressive.
Yeah, I had that one on my short list as well. I also had to have a shout out to the Suspiria remake with the contorted dancer scene, where
I don't know, man. I'm gonna call category fraud on that, because she didn't die after that.
She didn't die?
No, she was all contorted and stuff, and then like she's in the end. If you remember
she doesn't die? I
don't think she dies.
Okay. All right.
I'm evolving it from definitively saying she doesn't die to now I'm like, I don't think. I don't know.
Well, regardless, very cool scene. I also had Midsommar, the cliff jump suicide, and as well as the suicide at the beginning, when
the murder suicide.
Yeah, the murder suicide at the beginning. So those were kind of the ones that at first I thought of going with, and then I was leaning towards what you said, John, the original Suspiria.
Yeah.
But then I like ultimately went with the end of The Wicker Man.
Oh, and yeah.
I just, the more I thought about it, because of the context and what it means to the film as a whole and how iconic of a scene it is, and you know, that's where it even gets the title from. It felt like it just had so much more weight. And it was just like,
it's very true,
a culmination of all the events in the film. So I ended up going with that. I wasn't expecting to, but as I was going through them, that's the one I landed on. So called an upset, I guess. But there are, you know, from a filmmaking perspective, a lot of really interestingly shot and executed death scenes in these cult films.
Very cool.
So that brings us to the final Stabby Award, which is favorite cult movie. So what are you going with?
So this was a hard one. I feel like we had a really, you know, a good list of movies. I enjoyed all of them. I mean, some maybe didn't like The Seventh Victim. I think it's wacky, and I love it because of how silly it is. But for me, I felt like ultimately the discussion we had for Midsommar really clinched it for me as being, you know, a great movie to watch and enjoy, but also something that it's really fun because you get to discuss all the depth of it with your friends and kind of dig into that. And I feel like it's a smart movie. It's a fun movie. It has everything. Midsummer.
Yeah. I had Midsummer as well. It does check a lot of boxes. You know, it's fun. It's got rewatchability. You could analyze it all day. And the filmmaking is just brilliant. Ari Aster, I think one of the best working directors today. And, you know, we talked about that in the episode. But yeah, I mean, great film. I think that was an easy one for me. But, you know, like you said, it was a great bunch of movies. And you know, John is mostly responsible for putting that list together. So you came up with a lot of good movies that really complemented each other well and gave us
that I forced you to watch.
Yeah, no, that's nice. That's what I need. I mean, it gave us a lot to digest and talk about. And, you know, it was really fun. And there were really interesting parallels in some. And then, you know, some movies had something completely different that all the other ones didn't have. And I don't know, it was fun. Good list.
Yeah, thank you, man. I think it was a pretty good mini series we had. And I think these awards reflect how awesome all these movies are. But you're kind of being a little bit quiet over there, Trevor. What do you think?
Oh, it's my turn to talk?
Trevor, you been here this whole time, dude?
Are you sure? Are you sure I can talk?
I didn't know he was on the line. Welcome.
Yeah, I don't know. You've been quiet.
I'm just flabbergasted. You forgot your first guest. You forgot your first guest just because you had Liam on twice. Liam. You guys even selected the movie he helped review with you guys. Like, what the hell?
I'm sorry, man.
Whatever. Just shut up.
This is like the intro to some like wrestler like talk. Oh, you're all jabronis. I'm gonna hit you all with a steel cage match.
All right. Let me calm down. No, I think your guys' list is pretty solid. You know, I thought, you know, obviously I thought Lord Samaral was the best cult leader, and you know, I do agree with all your lists, guys.
Well, thank you. Even though you just berated us for 2 minutes.
Eat my ass, John.
You fucking weirdo, man. I don't even know what to make of you sometimes.
Once the bottle came on cork, I just couldn't stop. I've been waiting 14 years to go after John, so give me that.
All right, let's move on to our next segment where we're going to be talking about Halloween traditions and favorite candies and all that. All right?
Oh, yeah.
To start things off, Trevor, what was your favorite costume growing up?
My favorite costume is actually a costume I had back in high school. Like back when like you were a senior, you were allowed to dress up for Halloween. So my mother actually made me a costume, and I went as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And it was
what?
The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters.
Oh.
It was like really good. Like she made the head. It was all circular. Like it was puffed out and all this stuff. It was really, really good. I actually remember playing volleyball in that costume and almost passing out, but still it was fun as all hell.
We need photos of all of these.
Yeah, Trevor.
I'll have to find
need to go
them
on the Instagram.
Where are these photos? I need to see them.
They're probably somewhere buried in the Cherry household, so I'll have to take a look.
John, what's your favorite costume?
Mine's a little bit more recent, I guess, but when I went to Temple University, the first like Halloween there, I dressed as Walter from The Big Lebowski.
Oh, yeah.
And I got, you know, all the clothes looked exactly like Walter's clothing. I even had the sunglasses, and I even walked around every party with a Folgers can that said Donnie on it.
Nice detail.
And so my roommate, Ray, he dressed as the dude, but he was too cheap to get a wig or like a mustache, like beard thing. So he like drew it on and it looked terrible. And I kind of just ignored it, even though he really just ruined the whole thing by his shitty costume. But the best part of that was when we were playing beer pong in some basement. Someone's elbow went over the line, and I could in earnest go over the line.
I bet you did not beat that into the ground over the course of that
night. Hey guys, you remember over the line?
What's the over under for how many times John said that night? 50?
A lot.
Yeah,
Might be more.
Well, you know what? It was fun. All right. And it was before like the Big Lebowski thing like got played out. All right. So
right, yeah.
It was awesome, and it got a really big laugh the first time. So yeah, that's my favorite costume. Jason, what about you?
Well, that reminds me of a similar scenario I was in. One year, this is more recently as well. I went as Heisenberg. And
oh yeah,
I went all out for it. I had the hat, I had the glasses, I did all the details. I had the wallabies and the pants. And my buddy Chris, what's up if you're listening? He was supposed to be Jesse Pinkman, and that consisted of 5 minutes before the party started, him going up to his room and getting a hoodie out of the closet. So he, if he wasn't right next to me, no one would have any idea what he was supposed to be. So you gotta. There needs to be a similar commitment level if you're doing like partner costumes. Like you both got to be in, otherwise it kind of falls flat. But I would say my favorite. I have a few, and they're all kind of more in my adult life because I kind of went a little more all out for them. I was Sheriff Woody in college, and I really like this one because I made the entire costume for about $10. I had the jeans. I had a shirt that looked a lot like Woody's shirt for some reason. So I just used that. I made the little vest out of like an old t-shirt. I found a foam hat at a craft store for like $2 or $3. And then I made the pull string on the back, and it actually pulled. And I made the mistake of going bar hopping that evening with a bunch of drunk college kids and a pull string on my back. So I don't know how many times it was pulled all night, but people just kept yanking on it, which was fine. I expected it. I knew that's what I was getting into. But
did they yell at you to do some of the quotes?
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. That was fine, but when some drunk frat guy comes up and tells me to say there's a snake in my boots, it gets a little, more
say
degrading.
The line.
But
do it.
No, I even
Who's
had
your favorite deputy?
That's kind of what it felt like. So I even had Andy written on the bottom of my boot, and a few people did check. A few very detail-oriented patrons did make sure. And then a couple more recent ones. For a few years, my wife and I did some couples costumes. The one year we were Lieutenant Dangle and Trudy Waggle from Reno 911, which, by the way, John has never watched Reno 911.
Yeah,
which
really?
Yeah, I haven't.
Amazing to me because it's right up your alley. Trevor, you've seen it, right?
Oh yeah, I've seen.
John would love it, right?
Yeah, he would. It's a really good show.
There was a weird pause there. Oh, hey, yeah.
Why are you against it? Like, you would have been like the ideal age for that, and Comedy Central, and
I don't know. I didn't really watch a lot of Comedy Central, other than for like 2 years I watched a little bit of it because it was Chappelle's show, but that was it.
Well, so check out Reno 911. All the Stabbies out there, back me up on this. And then there was one more costume my wife and I did. We were Bob Belcher and Luis from Bob's Burgers.
I really like that one. I like
that one. Turned out pretty good. That was another pretty cheap one. I think I actually already had everything for.
You know what? I got to tell you, I think you're discounting how great your costume was. I think it was 2 years ago where you were Gerard Way.
Yeah, that year I phoned it in a little bit. I went as Gerard Way. Which just consisted of me wearing a t-shirt with Gerard Way's face on it because that seemed like something.
He was drinking milk or something, right?
Yeah, it was like Gerard Way with a glass of milk. And
people were like, "Who are you supposed to be?" And you would get indignant, like, Gerard Way, of course.
Oh, come on.
I forgot about that one.
That was good.
Good memories. So that brings us now. We talked about our favorite costume. What's the worst costume? Are we talking for us personally, or just that we've seen out in the wild?
I was thinking for ourselves.
Okay,
yeah, that's what I thought
I approached this much differently. So
we'll pivot when it goes to it. All right, Trevor. So what was your worst costume?
Well, my worst costume was actually not the original costume. It was a thrown together costume because the original costume got sabotaged or got ruined. So that year I was going as Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, and my mom.
That's ambitious.
Yeah, I know. She went pretty all out. And like stuff she found like the whole yellow, ninja outfit and stuff. The day of Halloween, my mom babysitted a lot of kids. Somehow the kid dropped a bunch of Kool-Aid on it and like it ruined the yellow of it. And so like I was like, it's ruined. I can't wear it. I can't wear it.
I'm Sub-Zero now.
Exactly. Scorpion would never let that happen. Come on, no. So I had to throw something together, and I had a lot of clothes and like old not thrown away clothes, but like clothes that my cousin gave me. And like one of them was like a big baggy Jinko jacket. So I threw that on, backwards hat and sunglasses. I'm like, I'm a rap star. I was just really miserable.
Wait, how old are you?
I was probably like 8.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 8.
I was thinking like 12 or something.
I was 27. No, but it was really miserable. And then
that was probably pretty devastating as an 8-year-old.
Yeah, and then it was like, but although I did get the last laugh because like any Northeastern person, Halloween is always the coldest day in October.
Yeah.
So I got the last laugh because I had a pretty big jacket and everyone had a jacket and they were trying to be princesses and stuff. But no, they have to wear their starters jackets. So it's like.
You're getting at a point, though, that I think is people don't talk about a lot, which is it's always freaking lame if you have like a cool costume and then you have to wear a jacket over it and look like, what are you supposed to be? And then you have to like take your jacket off and you're like, oh, okay, you're a ninja with a North Face jacket.
That's tricky. That depends on, how much traveling you have that night, I guess. You got to plan your costume accordingly if you're going to be out walking a lot.
Exactly.
Got to factor it in, I guess. John, what's your worst costume?
Okay. So in, I think like 6th or 7th grade, something like that, my grade school, Milford, it consisted of like 12 kids in the entire grade. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So out of like the boys, it was like 5 or 6 boys, and everyone was into wrestling, professional wrestling. So the thing was, we were all talking about being like wrestlers, but the thing we were all discussing was like, it'd be really cool if we just went all in and we played as our like wrestling characters that you created on like, I think it was like, I don't know if it was like SmackDown or one of those games where you could create like custom characters, and we all had like these like wrestler characters. So mine, all right, I'll reveal it.
This is gonna be devastating. I can already
Mine was John the Destroyer Hoyer.
Oh my.
So
isn't that what you put in your credits for a few of your student films as well?
So the thing is, so I got my little, bullshitty costume together, and at the last moment, like 4 or 5 of them all decided, no, we're going to be like notable wrestlers like The Undertaker and Kane and all this stuff. So I was like scrambling to come up with like a wrestler that I could easily just do, throw it together. And I ended up doing this wrestler, Al Snow, but like he has long hair, handlebar mustache, and I did not abide by that at all. I just I just showed up with like sleeves cut off, and it said the Job Squad, which is the shirt that his said. But it was like drawn on. It was really lame. No one even knew who I was. And I felt like everyone else let me down.
That's pretty tragic as a youngster.
Yeah.
What grade did you say?
It was 6th or 7th.
6.
Whenever it was like the peak like wrestler thing. And like I didn't even like, Al Snow also had like a weird mannequin head that he would carry with him. And like, I didn't do any of that. It was just because like it was the day before. They're like, no, we're not going to be our created characters anymore, which I probably should have thought about that. I shouldn't listen to what a bunch of dweebs in my school think. But
right, in 6th grade, you couldn't even do his catchphrase like, what does everybody love? Head! Just can't do that.
Well, jokes that I didn't understand because I was little.
Right, exactly.
I did in college. I threw together a costume where I was Al Borland from Home Improvement.
Hey, that's good. I like that.
All I did was get I don't know what you call it, like those belts.
A tool belt.
Tool belt. I wanted to say utility belt, and I was like, no, I'm being a fucking
Batman.
John clearly doesn't own any tools.
I'm actually quite handy. So I was Al Borland, but like I couldn't get anyone to be Tim the Toolman Taylor, so people kind of got who I was.
I would have done it with you, John.
But the cool thing was, well, thank you. We actually knew each other at this point, so
you could have asked me.
We weren't hanging out as much, I guess, back then.
All right.
Anyway, so Jason, what was the worst costume I guess you've seen?
Well, yeah, I kind of just took it as worst costume overall. And we're going to take it back to college again with this one. It's when all the college girls would be cats. And it just consisted of them wearing what they were going to wear to a party anyway, but putting on cat ears and like a dot on their nose.
This sounds like
which
Mean
by the end of
Girls.
the night, both of those are gone anyway.
No whiskers?
So sometimes. I mean, that's, you know, if you have the whiskers, okay, at least, yeah, that's ambitious. I don't know. The whole thing, it's a little lazy. It's a little obvious.
Yeah.
You know, that's a big knife down for me.
All right. Well, okay. So, gentlemen, let's say you're going down trick-or-treating. You're going to houses. You put your little, I don't know, bag out. What's the candy you want?
For me, it's Reese's, 100%.
Me too. I love Reese's. Still my favorite
Easy
candy.
answer. Yeah,
Right.
anything Reese's related. I don't care if there's, you know,
I don't like the little ones though. That's my thing.
oh, the little one. Yeah,
'Cause you
it's a
have to-
lot of effort. It's the most effort of opening any Reese's, and then you get the smallest. Yeah, I agree.
Well, not so much.
Yeah,
pale.
can't we put those in the same little plastic things?
Yeah.
Like just put like 8 of them in there or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I agree with the Reese's too, but specifically the pumpkin shape, because like I think with the
Yeah.
pumpkin you get like a
Yep.
good balance of the peanut butter and the chocolate, and that
I think
It
gets
hits different. It does.
It's the perfect combination because you get more peanut butter and like the little bit of chocolate enhances the peanut butter taste. It's perfect. No one can improve upon it.
That's
Yes.
100% true. And then that's followed up with the trees around Christmas, and they're not the same.
Yep.
The pumpkins are better than the trees.
Have you? Okay, here's a question. Now, when I used to go to York when I was younger to go to this car show that they would have, they used to have Reese's that were in a yellow packaging, and it would be just the regular Reese's on the outside. It would look like, but when you bit into it, half of it would be an Oreo cookie.
Whoa!
I never heard of that.
Not like a full Oreo, but like the top. One of the
the top layer.
Yeah, layers. So when you bit into
Was
it,
that some sort of like black market thing? Like I've never even heard of that.
The Days Inn that we would go to. I don't know. Or
Some guy named Ron making it. It's not Hershey.
Yeah.
it was in
It's
the
my
candy
special.
machine, and I was like, "Oh my god, York, PA! Like, look at all the cool stuff they
Wait,
got."
so was it actually packaged in Reese's material?
Yeah, it was a
like-
Reese's. It was like like the 2-packs.
Yeah.
But instead of orange, it was like the brighter yellow.
So at first I thought you were going to say like it was filled with like this white peanut butter. I'm like, John, those are Malo cups. You just were eating Malo cups.
Like I looked it up. I did see I saw the pack in retrospect, found the packaging of what it looked like.
So you found it. It's real. It's not
real. It's not something I made up. But
looking this up.
no
right now.
one knows what I'm talking about. This is almost like the
Mandela effect.
yeah, it's almost like the Mandela effect, but it's for like fatty treats.
It almost sounds like a York peppermint patty. Like I was thinking when you said York, I'm like, oh, York peppermint patty. But no, if it's like you said it's more like an Oreo, then
There's no mint in it or whatever.
Well, I know that's what I'm just saying. Like
So you're comparing it to something that's completely opposite of what
I don't know. I was originally thinking that. I don't know. Whatever.
I'm seeing a lot of Oreos with peanut butter inside, but I am not seeing anything.
I'll look it up. I'll send it to you.
Reese's. Yeah, I want to see this. You got to throw it up on our social.
Wasn't it? It was York that they used to have those. I don't know. Maybe they still do, but it's like a big car show.
Yeah. Yeah, the people in York love cars, I'm sure.
It was at some
something.
like big like event center. I remember it being this huge.
Probably the York Fair, the York Fairgrounds.
Something like yeah, okay.
Sounds right.
So it was just funny because like I was there when I was like real little, and maybe you were even at the same place, and I saw maybe I saw you, and I was like, him and I could be friends one day.
he could be my Tim the Toolman Taylor someday.
He'll be my podcast host. And my mom was like, "What's a podcast?" And I was like, "You'll see."
You'll see.
All right. Another candy I really like is Nerds or any of the Wonka ones because they have like kind of more of a soury kind of flavor. So like if you get all chocolate, you get tired of chocolate, but
You got to reset the palate.
yeah, you got to
a
go
little
back
bit.
and forth. And I feel like most of the Wonka stuff is great. Once in a while, you'll get a Nerds rope if the people are really cool. But
Yeah. I go. I kind of lean more towards Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah.
I like my sour candy really sour, like Warheads or Sour Patch Kids.
oh yeah, Warheads is underrated. Like they
Really are. Yeah.
All right, favorite Halloween movie to watch when you were a kid, Trevor?
So when you said that, I didn't know if it was like Halloween centric or if like a movie you watched rev up to Halloween. So I got two, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for
it. So the one that got me kind of revved up for Halloween would be Ghostbusters. That was pretty much the one movie that like I remember even younger, being like younger than 6, remembering and loving. And that usually gets me hyped up because of all the ghosts and spooky stuff. Halloween centric, I would have to say Hocus Pocus.
I've never seen Hocus Pocus.
You never seen Hocus Pocus?
Yeah, it looked lame. I'm sorry.
I mean, in retrospect, it's kind of lame. But I mean, when I was a kid, I enjoyed it because, like, the witches and all that stuff.
If you want to know how dumb my brain is, when you said Hocus Pocus, they're like, that's a girl movie.
Well, I mean, even then, I thought it was like that because my sister likes it. I sat down and watched it. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool.
All right. Well, you know what? To make up for that,
what is your Halloween movie as a kid?
Halloween.
As a child, of course it is.
Yeah, as a child, I loved Halloween. I still love it. But like that was the first Halloween, or even watching any of the other subsequent Halloween movies in the series. I liked 4 and 5. I used to watch a lot when I was younger as well. So I liked all of those. The thing that people don't really talk about like with horror movies and stuff is that there aren't really a whole lot of movies that actually take place on Halloween night and are festive to the holiday. So that's why I liked Halloween so much. And then even the other ones, they're not quite as festive, obviously, but that's kind of a big part of it. What about you, Jason?
So, well, just to go off of what you're saying, it's interesting that like there aren't a lot of scary movies that are centered around actual Halloween. Do you think part of that's because it like almost feels derivative of Halloween because it's such a classic? Like, oh, here we go. Here's a movie set on Halloween. Like, we've seen this before. Like, because I feel like there's so much to explore with Halloween, especially like the history of the holiday and everything too. So it's interesting. So I read this as favorite Halloween costume as a kid. I don't know why, but so my dad and I were Batman and Robin when I was little. I distinctly remember that.
Which one were you?
I was Robin.
Oh, of course.
So my parents helped me make this cool Robin costume. My dad was Batman. He wore like, I had a little Viking hat that he wore. There's a picture somewhere. I'll see if I can find it. But I was just like, I like how I chose to be the sidekick in my own childhood fantasy. Like, I was just like, it was like my dad. It just made sense. He was bigger, older, stronger. I was like, oh, well, he's Batman. If I had to pick a movie as a kid, I always think of Casper.
Yeah.
That was always a fun one around Halloween. I remember having like a little Casper toy, and I went through a ghost phase. I guess all kids do. But
it was pretty I remember that movie being like it was pretty creepy. Like
it was
very dark too.
Mm-hmm.
So that brings us now to our favorite Halloween movies as an adult. So Trevor, what do you got?
Well, I think probably the most stereotypical answer would be Halloween. I love the Halloween franchise in general. It's fantastic. Like John was saying, the movie's kind of based around Halloween, around the night of Halloween. I actually had more love of Halloween 3 more recent years because I know a lot of people like at a wrestling promotion, they talk a lot about it, and I grew a deep love for Halloween 3 through that. And also I kind of have a tie with Trick or Treat, anthology series. And that's fantastic because it talks about like, the rules of Halloween and what happens if you break the rules. And I think it's kind of like in, a few years ago, it was kind of overlooked, but now I feel like everyone's kind of picking up on Trick or Treat and how good of a movie it is.
Yeah. And they have you can even buy some of the costumes or the masks for the I don't remember what the kid's name is in that movie.
Yeah, I saw a couple in Target recently too.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool that kind of caught on. It's funny you say that because actually Trick or Treats was my number one for that answer.
Oh, really?
Well, the thing I think that's fun about it, so it's not just because it's scary or whatever, but it's actually like a fun and an enjoyable movie where it's like, it has good set pieces and stuff, but it kind of reminds me a bit of almost like an adult version of like Goosebumps or Are You Afraid of the Dark, things like that. So I had that, and then I had The Thing, which is a movie that every time I see it, I just love it more and more. So
are these movies you guys watch every Halloween as like a tradition now as adults, or are they just movies that kind of you associate with Halloween now as an adult?
I watch The Thing is something I've watched on Halloween like multiple years in a row. Trick or Treat, it's either the day of or a day or two before.
Yeah, I'm with John. Halloween I watch pretty much kind of religiously on Halloween a lot. Trick or Treat, kind of closer to Halloween. I'm actually probably going to watch it on Halloween with my fiance because she's never seen it. So I figured this would be a good treat for her. So
hell yeah.
Nice. So yeah, I don't really have a movie that I watch like that. It's not like Christmas, how like my wife and I watch It's a Wonderful Life every Christmas. I don't have that movie for Halloween. I mean, I would definitely say Halloween. It's, it just makes you think of Halloween. And even it doesn't get enough love, but Halloween H2O, I watch that one a lot as like a younger adult or an older teen.
Right.
I don't know. It probably doesn't hold up as much as I remember, but I don't know. I always like that one.
It was a very odd movie too, because it was like after that Scream kind of phase, so it had to have all these like cool teens.
Yeah. It had to be a little self-aware, I guess. I don't know.
It felt in kind of ways it was like kind of like Scream light almost, if that makes sense.
Yeah. But this Scream, there are other movies we haven't really gotten into yet that I guess at the time when I was younger, when the first Scream come out, John, you probably know, like 96 or something?
1996.
Yeah.
Okay. So like, I didn't kind of get the irony of them or them being a little more tongue in cheek. So I was like, some of this is kind of a little over the top and a little silly, but I guess I'm still scared. But as you get older, you realize they're kind of more parodies.
My mom like advised me never to watch Scream when it came out because she said it's too disturbing. Like you won't be able to sleep. It's very disturbing. And like then I watched it, I was like, Mom, this is like a comedy. What are you talking about? And she's like, it's not a comedy. They're killing their friends. And I was like, and it's because they like movies. And I was like, yeah, but it's like it's tongue in cheek. It's making fun of the genre.
But yeah, the Scream movies were all really kind of, there's some like meta moments to them. Like the one part in the sequel where they're like talking in like class about how, sequels are never as good as the original. And they're like, what about Godfather Part 2 or whatever? I don't know. Just as I got older, I realized kind of how tongue in cheek some of it was.
All right. So next up, I figured we could probably talk about some Mischief Night stories from our youth.
So, are you just talking about getting into mischief, or like, is Mischief Night like a thing? I don't know what this means. Like, what is Mischief Night?
So, okay. So October.
Is it a Jersey thing?
Hold on. All right. October 30th. What do you call that day?
October 30th?
Day before Halloween. What is that? That's not a day for
Halloween Eve?
Good boy day.
Good boy.
I don't know. Is that so? That's what Mischief Day.
Okay. So Mischief Night is, I guess it's regional. Mischief Night for me
we live in the same region.
I live in dirty Jersey, so. So for us, it's the day before Halloween, night before Halloween. It's called Mischief Night, and people go out. They like egg houses, throw toilet paper on houses.
That's mean.
So like I said, go boy over here.
Jason just sits in his room waiting for school to start again.
Having no idea that Mischief Night is even
doing his algebra homework too.
I can't wait to finish my homework to please teacher.
Oh boy.
So kids would do stuff like that. So that on Halloween like day, you would go to school and you would see all these like things that like were TP'd and whatever. And so my story was that at my school, so Milford School, that was like a K-8 school, a lot of kids. So the playground had a bunch of like slides and stuff. And I remember they had everything roped off because kids did something there. And apparently, I don't know if they got an animal to do it, like a dog, or they did it, but there was just nasty, nasty shit shitted on all of the slides. And someone wrote, "fuck you," in spray paint on like, there's like a dome thing. So they wrote "fuck you," but they spelled it F-U-K. That was like kind of disturbing for the school because not only are these kids like awful, they weren't taught to spell fuck right.
Fuck you.
So this is what happened on Mischief Night.
Yeah.
There's poop and profanity.
Dirty Jersey, why not?
Yeah.
Everyone laughs
So
the next day.
Yeah, I mean, Trevor, is that what they called it? Did you have that? What was?
Yeah. Mischief Night is pretty much primarily like in the northeast region of the U.S. It seems like the Midwest, like when you get further west, it becomes Devil's Night.
Hold on. Jason is not in the Midwest. What are you talking about?
No. I'm just saying other people. Name changes.
Midwest.
Name changes when you go west. It's same thing. It just changes.
What time is it over there, guys?
Trevor's in Ohio, and he's saying someone who's further east than him is in the Midwest. Are you drinking the water in Ohio? What is going on?
When I talk about people in Wyoming, no, but no, yeah.
But Trevor had his humble beginnings in Jersey, right? How close did you guys live to each other when you grew up?
I've never been to like the bizarro Milford.
Yeah, I live in Milford, PA. He lives in Milford, Jersey.
Okay, all right.
But no, yeah. I mean, I've
You're like a northern PA though, like you're near like New York, right?
Yeah, like what they call the tri-state area, where New York, New Jersey, and PA meet. So like if I go left, I can go New York. If I go right, I go to Jersey. But yeah,
so it's basically Jersey.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Anything bad is New Jersey.
Yeah. Okay. I did participate in Mischief Night. Yeah, I'm a bad boy.
Jason's gonna make you go to church with him.
I know.
This is actually all a sting operation. I have like 3 feds listening in right now. They're like, all right, go.
I got a laundry list to confess. Yeah, Mischief Night was really, really fun. I think.
Hold on. Yeah, so you did stuff.
Yeah, of course.
You're, no offense, I'm sorry, but you're a squealer if I've ever seen one.
No, I'm a tough boy.
You would squeal.
No, I'm a tough boy.
No. All right, what did you do? Tell us some good stuff.
Well, obviously I did some of the, the usual stuff, TPing stuff. We stole some road signs. Nothing, no like not stop signs, like signs like, like this is Reynolds Drive. You steal that. I'm not stealing stuff that like the Department of Transportation can sue. No, but I think the one that I loved the most was I actually messed with my friend's car.
Okay.
He always left his car unlocked. Mm-hmm. Even though we live in Milford, which is not like really that bad at crime, you still don't normally lock the car. Anyway, I went into his car. I put a bunch of baby powder in his vent. So and then I cranked it up because obviously when he starts the car, I put Vaseline on his steering wheel. So and then probably the worst thing, and I regret doing it, but who cares? I put deer urine, like the smell that you attract deers, on his floor. And unfortunately, I forgot he didn't have mats, so it's in his carpet. It took like 2 weeks to wash out. And I guess I was making a lot of noise, or I was laughing a lot, and I heard him come like, "Who's out there?" And I run down the hill, and I just hear, "You just lost a friend." And so long story short, I was his best man. So
that was Mike.
Yeah, that was Mike. Yeah,
that's so weird, Trevor. I didn't know you had it in you.
I know.
I would. You know what? I can't look at you the same again.
You out mischiefed John, and he was not expecting.
You're a bad boy.
Watch yourself, mister.
I never did any of those things. I stood watch at my house.
You provided the poop, right?
Listen, I still remember what that looked like on the slides. It was so disgusting.
It was his Apocalypse Now. The horror.
I can imagine that would stick with you. So yeah, I learned something new tonight. Maybe I got to catch up and participate in Mischief Night. I don't know.
We'll go over to Ohio and mess with Trevor.
All right. So to end today's episode, we have a special treat prepared for you guys. We're going to have John and Trevor participate in a one-of-a-kind Let's Take a Stab at It game show. So cue the music. Welcome, welcome. Let's take a stab. We're gonna take a stab. Welcome. Let's take a stab. To Halloween. You can just put stock music there or something.
Okay. I don't think so now.
No, I like that music. I like that better.
So, disclaimer, I wrote this intro thinking Trevor was from New Jersey. So, sorry about that.
It's all good.
So, welcome to Let's Take a Stab at It Halloween Trivia, where contestants try to slash their way to the top of the leaderboard. I'm your host, Jason Barch, and today's contestants are none other than the Jocks of Jersey, the Gods of the Garden State, the Menches of the Mid-Atlantic, John Hoyer and Trevor Charity.
Woo!
Welcome to the show, fellas. So, this game consists of 3 rounds, followed by one final question where players earn stabs for each correct answer. At the end of the game, the player with the most stabs will be declared the winner. Now, each player must buzz in with their own unique sound. Okay? And I would like to hear those sounds now. John? Okay. Trevor? All right, one more time for the listeners. John? Trevor? All right. So please wait for the question to be completed before buzzing in. And once you buzz in, I will call on you to answer. So round 1, the category is Halloween, parentheses, the holiday.
Ooh.
And each correct answer is worth 1 stab.
Okay.
Question number 1. According to a 2019 study from candystore.com, what is the best selling Halloween candy in the U.S.? John.
Reese's.
Trevor, got a guess?
Candy corn.
It's actually
was that, Trevor?
I mean, everybody has candy corn.
It's actually Skittles. Skittles.
Oh, okay.
Reese's is number 2.
What?
I was surprised as well. This is by sales. We're not talking people's favorite. This is by sales. So if you think about it though, like a little bag of Skittles, that's pretty heavy. That's substantial. If you're giving them out, you throw that in the bag. I mean, I don't know. So they did this whole little map of the best selling Halloween candy in each state. And then they actually compiled 13 years of sales data from 2007 to 2019 to find these results. So it's Skittles with the upset. I would have guessed Reese's as well. Like candy corn, I don't know. I don't know if candy corn cracked it did crack the top 10. It was number 6, candy corn. All right. Question number 2. In 2019, the most popular little girl's costume was Elsa. What superhero was the most popular boy's costume? John.
Spider-Man.
That is correct for 1 stab.
Yes!
Congratulations.
Wow, you're happy with yourself, aren't you?
Trevor, are you in trying?
Yeah, Trevor, you can buzz in as well.
I was trying to think of the
Trevor
movie.
forgot his buzz sound. All right. Number 3 is true or false. Halloween has become the 3rd largest commercial holiday in the U.S. True or false, fellas? You don't lose points if you're wrong. John.
False.
That is correct. It's actually the 2nd largest commercial holiday.
Trevor, you didn't even chime in.
I was about to. I was like, and then you just went for
You guys have seen game shows before, right?
whatever. All
right, so that's good for 1 stab. So Halloween, 2nd largest commercial holiday after Christmas. All right, the final question in round 1. This one actually has 2 answers, and you get 1 stab for each correct answer.
Okay.
What 2 Christian holidays immediately follow Halloween? Trevor.
All Souls Day and All Saints Day.
That is correct. For 2 stabs.
Raven,
so
nevermore.
So Trevor ties it up on question number 4. So yes, All Saints Day is November 1st, which is a celebration that honors saints and all people believed to be in heaven or purgatory. All Souls Day is November 2nd, which is a day to pray for all the souls and is a day of remembrance for those who have been lost. So well done. Round number 2, the category is Halloween, parentheses, the movie.
Okay.
Each correct answer is worth 2 stabs. Question number 1. What was the original title of the film Halloween? Trevor.
The Night He Came Home.
Incorrect. John, you have a guess?
The Boogeyman. I don't know.
Also incorrect. It was originally titled The Babysitter Murders.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I really thought one of you would have that one. Question number 2. I have a feeling you guys both know this, so get your buzzers ready. And please, as a reminder, wait till I finish the question.
Mm-hmm.
The mask of what fictional character was used for Michael Myers' mask in the original Halloween film? John.
William Shatner.
We asked for the fictional character. I'll give you a second.
Captain Kirk.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna give you half a stab.
What?
Half a stab. It clearly said fictional character. William Shatner is real.
That's where you're wrong. He is mostly all rug right now.
Fair enough. Still half a stab. All right. Question number 3. How many total films are there in the Halloween franchise? John. John. Same sound he's been making all day.
But he cut it short.
3 seconds.
Okay. There are
3, 2,
11.
Correct.
Yes.
All right. How am I doing this though? Okay. I had to deal with your half point. All right.
Doesn't matter.
Final question. The final question in round 2. Question number 4. What was the budget of Halloween? John?
300,000.
That is correct.
Woo!
It's estimated it's around $300,000 to $325,000 to make, and it ended up grossing around $47 million, making it one of the most profitable indie films of all time. Good job.
Finally, my useless information is paying off.
So after round 2, we have John at 4.5 stabs and Trevor at 2 stabs. So we are entering round 3, which is miscellaneous Halloween and horror films. Now, this one is worth 3 stabs for each correct answer. So, Trevor, you could take the lead here. Question number 1. How many people does Jason Voorhees kill in the original Friday the 13th? Trevor.
He doesn't kill anybody because he's not in that.
That is correct. None. His mother, Pamela, did all the killing. So that's good for 3 stabs.
What?
And that puts Trevor in the lead.
God damn it.
Question number 2. In A Nightmare on Elm Street, what are the 2 colors on Freddy Krueger's sweater? John?
Red and black.
Incorrect. Trevor?
Red and green.
That is correct for 3 stabs. Red and green. Wes Craven chose these colors because they were the 2 most clashing colors to the human eye. All right, so that brings us 8 stabs for Trevor, 4.5 for John.
Okay.
2 more questions in this round. Question number 3. The 1922 film Nosferatu was essentially an unauthorized adaptation of what classic novel? John.
Bram Stoker's Dracula.
That is correct. They could not get permission from Bram Stoker's estate to use the book, so Nosferatu was the result. So that's good for 3 stabs. Woo! So entering the final question of the round, John, you are at 7.5 stabs. Trevor's at 8 stabs.
Ooh.
All right. Final question of the round. What is the highest grossing horror film of all time? It's recent. John.
It, Chapter 1, the first one.
That is correct for 3 stabs.
Oh, shit.
All right. So I have a bonus question that is also box office related.
Oh, it's not over yet. It's not over yet.
We also have the final question as well. We also have the final question. So we have the bonus question in this round, and then we're going to go on to our final round. So the bonus question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think either of you guys are going to get this. According to Box Office Mojo, what film holds the record for the highest single day gross on Halloween, the actual day of Halloween? And I'm going to give you a clue. It was released in 2009, and it's not a horror film.
2009, you said?
Yep.
Man.
Any guesses? John.
Was it Star Trek?
It is not. Trevor, any guesses?
I'm drawing a blank. I don't know.
All right. So it's actually This Is It, the Michael Jackson documentary.
What? Well, I mean, that is kind of a
things.
horror movie, if you're a kid,
So there was like a bunch of horror movies after it, but that one was at the top. All right. So no points for that one. So that brings us to the final stab, which is one final question. And let's see, our score right now, John has 9.5 stabs. Trevor has 8. So the final stab, we'll say it's worth 3 points. So that whoever gets this right is the winner for 3 stabs. All right. The final stab question is, The Tale of Stingy Jack is an origin story for what Halloween decoration? Trevor.
Jack-o'-lantern?
That is correct. Congratulations, you have won. Let's take a stab at Halloween trivia. So a little backstory on Stingy Jack. As the story goes, Stingy Jack was at a bar sharing a drink with the devil for some reason. Jack couldn't pay for his drink, so he asked the devil to turn into a coin. The devil obliged without any objection, really. But instead of using the coin to pay for his drinks, Stingy Jack put the coin in his pocket next to a small metal cross so that the devil wasn't able to get out. Before Jack set him free, he made the devil promise him two things: that he leaves Jack alone for 1 year, and that he not take his soul to hell when he dies. The devil says sure, and Jack lets him go. 1 year later, the devil finds Jack, eager to get his revenge. But before doing so, Jack asks the devil to real quick climb a tree and bring down a piece of fruit for him. So the devil agrees and climbs the tree. And while he's in the tree, Jack quickly carves a cross in the bark so that the devil cannot come down. The devil probably should have seen that coming. The devil says, "You got me again. What do you want now?" And Jack now asks the devil to leave him alone for 10 years, which is a smarter request than the 1 year before. Probably should have still played it safe and asked for 100 years or something like that. So the devil agrees and Jack lets him down. A few years later, Jack dies, but God won't let him into heaven because of his unsavory ways. And the devil, keeping his promise, won't allow Jack into hell and claim his soul. So instead, he banishes Jack into the dark wilderness with a single piece of coal to light the way. Jack hollows out a turnip to hold the coal, and as legend has it, he has been wandering the earth ever since. People then began to call him Jack of the Lantern, which over time became Jack-o'-lantern. Congratulations, Trevor. You're today's champion.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to thank John for allowing me to win and sucking at some of these questions. I would like to thank Jason for giving some of the questions, even though, I
He gave it to you in advance? When you did that poorly?
Checks in the mail. Checks in the mail.
Oh, that was a good game, Trevor. And Jason, I think you did an excellent job as hosting.
Thank you. You guys did really well. You guys were neck and neck. That's exactly what I wanted to get out of this. I
really should have said red and green for that Nightmare on Elm Street thing. I was rethinking myself. I was like, did it just look green to me? Or was it black?
When I was looking up random things to make questions, I thought it was red and black as well. So I thought that was an interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Trevor, you deserve it.
I do. Look at me, the tough boy, winning.
All right. Well, gentlemen, if there's nothing else, I think that about does it for this episode.
It's been fun.
It has.
John, you're sounding a little defeated. Do you want to re-record with you winning?
I was worried that it was going to be a sweep for a minute, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna destroy this little boy." And you know what? He got the best of me.
That's right. I'm the king of Halloween.
Yeah. Sure. Okay.
Well, let's not go crazy. I didn't say there was any award.
I'm riding this. to the sunset.
You won the game. Let's just leave it at that.
Me.
Aren't you gonna go light a flaming poop bag on someone's house? Like,
yep.
You degenerate.
Exactly. I'm gonna lose some more friends.
I gotta say, when they turn the air on, all the powder comes out. Like, that's pretty genius.
Thank you.
Very disturbing.
He's gonna put powder in your microphone, so all of next episode it's just like coming out as you talk. Just drives you crazy.
Oh, I'd kill him. I would take this very heavy microphone and beat him to death. All right. Well, folks, I hope you had a great time with this Halloween episode. I hope you have a great Halloween, and we will be taking a hiatus for a little bit, but if you keep checking in with us on Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, one of those things, we'll be letting you know when we're coming back. We might be popping back in a little bit for maybe some holiday themed episodes going forward for Christmas, or I don't know if there's any Thanksgiving horror films, but we'll see. So, obviously this Halloween, especially, it's a weird time. A lot of people can't go and do the festivities that they want to do because of the coronavirus and stuff. So I guess we're kind of hoping that maybe this episode kind of helped you feel, give you some sense of normalcy or some fun in this kind of trying time, I guess, or whatever.
Absolutely.
So it's been a wonderful experience. Jason, I really enjoyed doing all this stuff with you. Trevor, you're an infuriating man. But I love you. Anyway, all right. So until our next episode, stab you later.
Wow, that is a big penis, John.